Hello, glad you're here. This little tutorial is going to be going over how AI can speed up Etsy listing creation. So, we are going to be talking about what comes after you've created a product, after you've created the mockups, then getting it actually onto Etsy. So, writing your titles, your descriptions, your tags, choosing the colors, the attributes, all those things. So, I want you to think for a second of how long does that usually take? Right now, when you are finished something, how long would you say that it takes you to write that Etsy listing? So for me, I've always used AI in my process. As soon as I discovered Etsy and growing on Etsy, I was already using AI and playing around with it. And so I've always had that advantage of having it sped up a little bit, but it's so much more efficient now, the way that I'm doing it now compared to how I was doing it before. And I think a really important thing to remember when it comes to AI is that we have to get in there and we have to play with it. We have to try out these tools, and I know that can be a little bit intimidating, that can be a little bit overwhelming, especially when we're solopreneurs and we have so much on our to-do list. The idea of taking some time out of the things that we need to get done to go play with a tool and to go learn something new. I understand how that can feel, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, that can sometimes feel impossible even to take out that time. So I just want to make sure my audio is okay. It looks like it was a bit loud there for a second. Let's look at ways that I can help you ease that process so you feel equipped to get in there and play with these tools. So today I'm going to show you a faster way of listing. By the end of this, we're going to have a full listing of a real product of mine. My drafts are empty right now, so I definitely need to get some products done today. So I thought, why not walk you through one of the products that I'm going to be putting out soon, and we'll go from there. So, before we jump in, I just want to talk about what most Etsy sellers are doing and why they're maybe not getting the results they want. So, it's not that AI is hard to use, it's that we don't always know what to give it to get the results that we want. So a lot of people will open up their AI tool, let's say ChatGPT. I know Claude is kind of taking over now, at least in my world. And they'll just say, write me an Etsy listing for a clip art. And what they're going to get back is pretty generic, and it's going to be different every single time you jump in the tool to have an Etsy listing. You're not going to have consistency across your Etsy listings if you're not giving it something to work with, a bit of framework. So you're going to have pretty generic information in there, maybe repetitive, maybe broad, and it's not going to be as useful as you want it to be. So the problem here isn't the tool, it's the prompt, and we're going to work with that today. So here's what we're going to be covering. One, the mistake that sellers make when they're trying to use AI for listings. We're going to look at a prompt that actually works and why it works, and how we can take AI, what it gives us, and really fine tune it and apply it to our own store and what we're selling. So quickly, we'll just jump into looking at the old way of doing things. We're staring at a blank screen, we're trying to figure out exactly how to shove as many keywords into our description so that it still sounds okay. We're rewriting things and it's taking more time than it really needs to. Now, the new way with AI is that we have a strong first draft within minutes. Our keywords are already built in for us based off of what we're giving it and what the AI can pull up for us. We edit it, but we're not starting from zero, so it's a lot faster. And then we have more time to focus on what matters, whether that be our lives outside of work or that be creation, and focus on building more products that we can get in the store. So, again, we already kind of covered this, but the number one mistake is really starting with something really generic, not giving it enough information to work with. So if you're just going to come and write an Etsy listing for a clip art pack, it's not going to give you the results you want. It may come out with something sort of usable, but it's going to be generic and it's going to be not specific to your buyer, your shop, and it's probably going to have bland keywords in it that aren't going to really get you in front of who you need to get in front of. So again, the problem isn't the AI tool. The problem is we didn't give it enough to work with. So what does it actually need from you? So here's a little bit of a formula that we can work with. So when you are working with an AI tool, you want to give it enough so that it can give you the best results back. And I know we talked about prompts in the last tutorial that I did last week. So this kind of adds on to that a little bit. So first of all, what is the product? So not just a clip art pack, being really specific, my product is Frosted Animal Cookie Clip Art Pack. It's 20 PNG files of cute frosted animal shaped cookies, bears, elephants, hippos. So that's just an example with what I'm going to be working with today. Then two, who is it for? And I know, at least for me, I had a hard time answering this when I was first getting started. So I sell clip art and seamless patterns, and I didn't get into selling clip art because I was using clip art. I got into selling clip art because, well, I did use it, I guess, the first time to create it, but I was never using it to make money. I made a toddler routine. You may have heard my story before. I was creating a routine chart for my daughter, and I didn't like any of the clip art that I found on Canva. So I decided to go out and try and make my own. And then I was like, this is a really fun process. How can I monetize this? So I realized that there was a really cool edge of creating AI generated clip art and selling that, and that there was a market for it, but I wasn't that clear on who the market was. And this may not be the same for you. You might be really clear on who your buyer is and who you're making things for, and that's amazing. But if you were like me and you're not so clear on that, just know that you don't have to be super clear on it to get good results. Just you can be really generic. For me, I like to say that I'm creating clip art for people who are creating templates or for other people who are trying to make money on Etsy. And of course, do it yourself crafters might fall in there, scrapbookers might fall in there. That's not to say that they might not purchase this as well. So you don't have to be super specific. And if you don't even know, you can also say that. But the more information you can give about who it's for, those words and keywords can be woven into the description. And then you have more of a chance being found by those people. So, next is what problem does it solve? And again, this may be kind of hard depending what you're making on how to answer this. For clip art, I can say it solves time, so they don't have to go and create their own. They get to use these. If they are already working with a trend, I know that when I looked at the trends today, the frosted animal cookie birthday invitation or something like that is trending. So I get to save them time by giving them the clip art that they need exactly to go make the trends that they want. They're not having to hire a graphic designer. They're not spending more time searching for the right graphics because here it is right here. So again, just coming up with a couple words to best answer what is the problem that your product is solving for that buyer. And then for any keywords you already know. So I've shared before, I use a tool called Insight Agent. It has been fantastic. I've used it for the entire 2 years that I've had my clip art store. And I will go on there when I'm making a product that is I've already looked up a trend from Insight Agent. And then I grab the best selling keywords and I feed that in when I'm making my titles, my tags, my descriptions, because I already know that those are best selling. You do not have to use this. You do not have to use Insight Agent. You can use AI completely to come up with to come up with the keywords. It just may not be as specific. You can also use the Etsy search bar. You can also use other tools. I've been seeing more and more. There's Sales Samurai, there's Profit Tree. There are other tools that you can use as well. Insight Agent is just the one that I've been using and loving and has worked great for me. And I will repeat, you don't have to use them, especially if you're getting started and you don't want another subscription. AI can help you, and you can look at what other people are doing for inspiration. So let's dive in. So I'm going to pull up my screen actually and open up Chatty, and let's go with a new chat. And I had that prompt there. I lost it. Let's see. So the prompt that I've written out here is you're an Etsy SEO expert. Write an optimized Etsy listing for a digital clip art pack, frosted animal cookie clip art pack. It includes 20 PNG files, of cute frosted animal-shaped cookies, bears, elephant, hippos. It's for bakers, party planners, and do-it-yourself crafters who want to make invitations, birthday decor, scrapbook pages. Include a keyword-rich title under 140 characters, a 5-bullet description, and 13 relevant tags. So I would also add all under 20 characters. So this is me giving it nothing else. And we'll talk about that in a second. But this is me just giving it a prompt. I've included what exactly it is, how many images are included, so what's exactly included. Again, you can use this for anything. It doesn't have to be clip art. I've given a little bit of specific bears, elephant, hippos, who it's for, and then what I've asked it to do is I've asked it to include the title, the description, and tags. And telling it, we talked about this in the last lesson, but telling it who you want it to be. So I want it to be an Etsy SEO expert. So let's see what this comes back with. And just remembering that my ChatGPT is going to give me different results than your ChatGPT because it's going to try to give you what you've maybe asked for in the past. It's going to use your memory to come up with an answer. So this is pretty short and doesn't give me enough. It did what I asked though. So it gave me a title. Let's take a look at the title. Frosted Animal Cookie Clip Art PNG. Cute circus cookie clip art, bear, elephant, hippo, birthday invitation decor, scrapbook graphics. So not bad. It's taking what it is and then it's saying it in different words that people would search for, and it's giving different words. It's not repeating them. So I actually don't mind that title. What's included? So it's given me this. Can you expand on the description? I want all those 5 bullets as their own lists. So this is where we get to work with it, to workshop with what it's given us back. The tags are great, but I just want them to be easy to copy and paste. Can you list out tags with commas? So now it's expanded my description, which I would like. I like the skimmable. With Etsy, you cannot use bullets. So what I would normally do, I would say on Etsy, you can't copy and paste in bullets. So can you use, and I just would find some kind of bullet. Let's see, this one. Oh, just one. And so I would be able to copy and paste. So that just makes it a little bit easier. I might even ask for this to be in capitals because the bold isn't going to come through. Just ways that you can make your Etsy listing skimmable and easy. And now it's done what I asked with the tags. Now, that is one way to do it where we haven't uploaded a picture. I want to do another one where what we're going to do is we're going to take the mock-ups. So I have my mock-ups ready. Let me just grab those. Messed up my screen here a little bit. 1 second. Frosted animal cookies. I'm just going to grab them all over, but I would say for the mock-ups, I like to do the first mock-up photo and then what's included, where this one only has 18. Oh, I was saying 20. This one only has 18 images, so it all fit onto one page, but if I had multiple pages. And the reason why I like to include what's included is because that's going to tell the AI exactly what to include in your keywords, and it's going to make it specific to you. So these other ones I am putting in there, but they don't need to be in there, especially if you're using free ChatGPT. You will be limited, so I would almost say don't bother with those ones. Just include your mock-up photo and the one that shows all the images included, or let's say all the worksheets included, whatever, all the birthday invitations, whatever your niche is, whatever your product is, showing what's included. So let's grab that prompt again. So instead of 20, I'm going to make sure that says 18. And then I will say, instead of telling it bears, elephants, hippos, I will say, look at the mock-ups for what's included. And then I'll leave who it's for. 140 characters. I like to using the title first. And then let's take away this, a 5-part description and 13 relevant tags listed out with commas. Let's see what it comes back with this. It's telling me that it's analyzing the images, which I'm happy about. It did what I asked, so it took the name of the pack, and then for the other ones, it's done things that are similar. I might change cookie to cracker there because it has repeated the word cookie. And it went ahead and remembered my little arrows from the last chat. So as you can see, even though I started a new chat, it still is pulling information from the memory. And that, I think, is a great Etsy listing. So I would take that information and I would bring it over to Etsy. Now, to go one step further would be grabbing the keywords. So, like I said on not Insight Timer, Insight Agent, which used to be known as Insight Factory, you can grab the best selling keywords for a trending product. So, I am going to copy and paste those in that I've already grabbed. These are the best selling keywords. And then I always add, please only use what is relevant for this pack, but please weave into the description, titles, and tags. One thing that I can notice that this description is missing also is the intro paragraph. Can you also add an intro paragraph to the pack, to the description at the top? So again, I've asked it to only use what is relevant to this pack because I may have given it, if I just grab the best selling keywords, they may be keywords in there that have nothing to do with the pack that I've actually created. So that's where it can know what to use based off the fact that I've given it this image. So it did change the title a little bit where we have crackers now in there. We do have cookies still too many times than I would like. I gave a little description at the top, which I think is great because it gives you more time to actually speak to who you're speaking to, the buyer, and people know what it's for. And then it's broken this down for me again. So that all looks great. I would want to verify that these are actually under 20 characters. Some of them look like they could be slightly long. And of course, you can update from there. And one more tip that I will give is if you wanted to, you could go to Etsy. You could find maybe your description that you're already using and say, this is the template of what I'm using. Can you use this template? So if you're already using a template, but you're usually filling everything in and changing everything yourself, you can now just copy and paste that, put it into your AI tool and say, this is the template. Here is my new pack. Please update the template accordingly. And I know I said 18 PNGs. It could have pulled that from the image. So making your mockups first, I always think is the first step. And using your mockups in this process speeds things up significantly. Let's keep going with our little slideshow. Let's make this big again. So you saw it gave us a draft to work with, and then we could add in our own words. So if there's something that sounded too generic, didn't sound like us, you have the opportunity to update that. We can add in specifics, so the file size, how many things are actually included. In this case, how many images are included, but maybe it's worksheets, maybe it's something else, being really specific, what it's compatible on, so that it didn't give me that. I could say you can use these in Canva, you can use these in Photoshop, you can use these anywhere that you're using images. Checking your tags, making sure they're not too broad or irrelevant. I did see in there the digital download tag. I don't actually mind that tag. I know it is broad, but there are people who are going to be specifically looking for how I want these images immediately. So sometimes, or commercial use license, for example, sometimes having those broad tags in there is good, but you just don't want all of your tags to be super broad. And then checking the title, making sure it sounds good. So we did all of that. So one thing I will say is that this was a very manual process that we just started a brand new chat and we kind of worked it out. If you created a custom GPT, I have a custom GPT in my course, the AI Toolkit for Etsy sellers called Wink. It is already programmed. So I would not have had to tell it, please write the description at the top. I would not have to have told it, please clean up the bullets, all those things. It's all built in to respond with how we would want a high converting Etsy listing to be written. So if you are looking for that tool, I'm happy to share that with you because it's going to really speed up the process. But I wanted to also show you that it is possible without having a custom GPT. You could also make a custom GPT yourself that if you have a template that you're using every time, it is going to save you time because as you saw, I was still workshopping with it. I was still going back and forth. We can cut all that out. I don't usually do any of that. I usually just give it my mock-ups and that's it. It comes back with exactly what I need. It already sounds like me because I've built that in. It already sounds like how I want a high converting listing to sound. So it has all the right details in it. It's going to pull the right information. It's going to give me keywords, but I'm also going to feed it the keywords. And so it just speeds up the process a lot. And you're not editing as much, which again saves time. When we're building our stores, we need to move quickly. That's just the reality of it. So, how can we cut out some of the fluff, some of the administrative stuff that's just tedious work? And that's where I love utilizing AI. So, for those who are interested, it says join the whitelist, but what I've actually decided to do is I've actually decided to give anyone who's watching this, I'm not posting this anywhere. It's only if you watch this training, you can get early access to the AI Toolkit. So, the launch price is going to be $47. It's not actually being officially launched till April 7th, so you're getting in way early. If you know that you're interested in these tools that can really speed up your workflow. And I'll just say Wink is who I talked about for the listing optimizer. There's multiple other tools in there. That Wink is the tool that has a special place in my heart because the entire toolkit began with Wink. I wanted to speed up this process of listing things on Etsy, but there are in there that will help you write your emails to promote your products. There's GPTs in there that will help you find the trends. Like I said, you don't need to get Insight Agent. You don't need those trend tools. You can use AI. So there's GPTs specific for that. Tons in there. So you can check it out on the wait list. I won't talk your ear off about it too much because that's coming during the launch. But if there is anybody who just knows right away that you maybe have heard me talking about this a little bit, or you just looking for a way to speed up these processes that take a little bit too long, go ahead and check it out. So I'm going to drop, if I can figure this out, I will drop the link to make it easy. Let's see if I can do that here. Make it easy for anyone who's interested. And again, pressure, jump on right away because I'm going to be sharing a lot more details to come. Just a special gift for anybody watching this and who wants to hop in right away. The course is ready, so I'm happy to share that with you. And then lastly, I'll just pause and see if there are any questions. So if you are watching this and you're live and you want to ask a question, let me know. Did I miss anything? Is there something that didn't make sense? I am happy to elaborate on anything. And anybody who's watching the replay, I will obviously come back and also respond to any questions that I see. And I just wanted to thank everyone for your time. I'm really enjoying doing these tutorials in the community with you. And so I will take any requests of what you want to see. It's going to be a mix of using AI to speed things up is kind of the focus. But I know a lot of people in here are also brand new Etsy sellers or they're wanting to sell on Etsy but haven't even gotten started. So I'm happy to make content too that helps you to really get started and get started on the right foot. And I am sharing a lot on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, I'm having a lot of fun on there these days too, using AI to create content and sharing more over there as well. But this community is really my heart, is where I want to give you guys the gold, the meat of what I'm really learning and what I'm implementing and help you to do the same. So yeah, I'm here to share my knowledge and walk this path with you. Okay, look like there's any questions that have come through. So again, check out wrong link on there. Check out the link and it's on this page, but it's just ai.shelbyosborne.com/the-toolkit. If you're interested in checking out the AI Toolkit, again, not sharing that anywhere else. It's just for those who watch the video. So thank you, Karen. So glad you're here. And if questions come up while you're implementing, let me know and I'm happy to support you.